Good afternoon, everyone. My topic for today is about bones and muscles. This is the first topic in the second quarter. Our main objective for today is to describe the main function of the bones, joints, and muscles. But in this but this time, we're going to focus on the main function of the bones. So in this part, the teacher will have a game before the lesson starts. It is entitled Simon Says. So the pupils will do whatever the teacher will said, and there are following questions after. After the game, what is the part of the body that has been used in standing, sitting, and clapping of your hands? Very good. We used our bones. So what do you think is the function, or in your own idea, what are bones? Very good. Bones are any of the pieces of hard, whitest tissue making up the skeleton in humans and other vertebrates. An infant has around 350 bones, while an adult or a human adult has around 206 bones. Why? Because some of the infant bones fused to form a longer bone. That is why when we became adult, our bones became fewer than we are an infant. So these are the five main functions of bones. The first one is for support. For support for body and soft organs. Number two is for protection. It protects brain, spinal cord, and special organs such as our ribs and the heart. It is also used for movement. They act as levers for muscle action. Its purpose is also for mineral and growth factor storage. The minerals stored in it are calcium and phosphorus, which are growth factor for reservoir. And then the last one is it produces red blood cells. Let us focus on the protective bones. Do you know the do you know what are the bones that protects the major organs of our human body? Very good. The first one is the skull. The skull helps protect the brain. The skull consists of two main parts that played a great role in protecting our brain. The first one is the cranium. It protects the brain from bumps and knocks. We all know that our brain is the most sensitive part or the most sensitive organ of our human body, so it must be very protected. Second one is the mandible. It is the lower part of the skull and the largest and strongest bone of our face. So it is very obvious that the mandible plays also a great role in when we eat our food. It is used in chewing and uh, grinding our food into pieces. The second protective bone is the rib cage. The rib cage protects the heart and the lungs. It acts as a cage of our heart and our lungs to protect those major organs from any harm or uh, the third protective bone is the spinal column or backbone. The spinal column or backbone protects the spinal cord, which is connected to our brain. So therefore, if the spinal cord is damaged, it will also affect our brain. So it is made up of a series of irregularly shaped bones called vertebrae. The fourth and the last protective bone are the pelvic bones. It protects the lower organs and supports the weight of our body. It supports our body when we sit. Again, let us enumerate the protective bones. So they are the skull, the rib cage, the backbone, and the pelvic bone. So there are also the following bones are the bones that act or that has a major part in our daily activities. So it is important that we know that we knew all of them. So the first one is the humerus bone that forms the upper arm. And then the second one is the radius and ulna that forms the lower arm. It connects between the elbow joint and the wrist. There are three groups of bones in our palm. The first one is the carpals. The second one is the metacarpals, and the third one are the phalanges. Lower part of our body or in the pelvic bone, the femur is located. So the femur is the longest, heaviest, and strongest bone in the entire human body. All of the body's weight is supported by the femur during running, jogging, walking, and standing. Tibia is a large bone located in the lower leg. It is the strongest weight-bearing bone. And then the fibula is the outer and thinner bone in the lower leg. Just like our palm, our foot has also bones. They are the phalanges, which is the green one, the metatarsals, which is the red one, and the tarsals, which is the blue one. Before I end this lesson, I want to share you a trivia about the bones. So do you know that most of the bones in our human body is located in our hands and feet? So the totality of the bones in our hands and feet is 103, and it is just half as the number of the total bones in our body. So the other bones in our body is 103, and in total it is 206 bones. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed our lesson for today.